Hi there. My name is Susan Knowles. Would like to introduce myself to you. I write newsworthy and political articles of the day. My website is located at susanknowles.com. That's SUSANKNOWLES.com. I have videos on Spreecast. You just go there and look up Susan Knowles and you will find the videos that I have previously recorded. I am also a former practicing California attorney, and I'm also a licensed psychotherapist. In addition, I am an author, and my book is located at Amazon.com. It's called Freedom's Fight, A Call to Remember. And one of the things I like to do, because I am a psychotherapist and an attorney, I like to research items and kind of look at things in a little deeper perspective than perhaps that you would see in the local news. I like to kind of go behind the scenes, if you will, and find out what makes a person tick or why we, have the things that we do these days in America and where we find ourselves these days. My current article I'd like to talk to you about is called The Taking of Our Children by the Progressive Left. If you're a parent today, I think you're probably going to understand what I'm about to talk about. I've been told by a number of parents how hectic things are these days and how overwhelmed they feel by everything that's going on. It seems like there's no time to do anything. They get up in the morning, they try to get the kids, fed and dressed and off to school and try to get to their own jobs without, being late. And then it's picking up the kids in the afternoon. It's coming home. It's putting heads down and helping the kids with their homework, sometimes for several hours at night, trying to get the food on the table for everybody to eat, then trying to get everybody bathed, clothes selected for the next day, and into bed, and then trying to catch up on the couple hours of sleep that you lost the night before because of being up so late and trying to help the kids. And it's then a repetitious thing because the next morning you start all over again. And it seems like between doing that and taking the kids to practice, maybe soccer tryouts, soccer practice during the week, and again, attending games and taking the kids everywhere on the weekends for those games, it's just a never-ending cycle with very little time to focus on other things that may be of great significance to your family. When I was growing up, my parents had some help. They had some indirect help in raising us. For example, our neighbors were the eyes and ears of our parents when our parents went around. They made sure that we were safe and that we weren't doing anything that we shouldn't be doing in order to get ourselves in trouble. In fact, our neighbors would at times call our parents and tell them before we even had a chance to get home and explain maybe what we were doing. And our parents really, kind of leaned on those neighbors to kind of help them make sure that things were going well. I think today parents would not be very receptive to that. And in fact, I know of examples where parents aren't very receptive to having other people tell them about what their kids are doing in the neighborhood. And parents today kind of see that as people being critical and judgmental about their parenting skills. And I think that comes about because parents feel so guilty that they have so, very little time with their kids, and that anything that's sort of brought to their attention about their kids that they're not aware of, to them it's kind of, you're talking down about them or criticizing them as parents, when in fact, people I think are really genuinely just trying to help keep the kids safe. And so today, I think what's happening is that a lot of parents are going, what can I do? I need some help. Where do I turn? And we have the government ready, willing, and able these days to be your silent partner to help you raise your children. And, we see Michelle Obama coming out and saying, oh, you know what, this is what your kids should eat. She's going to the schools and she's telling the schools, now get rid of that food, we need this type of food. And no, that's not appropriate for your children to eat. So, she's there ready to take over your role as parent. You don't even need to worry about that. No longer as a parent do you have to decide what to give the kids to eat, because Michelle Obama is going to be there giving them the proper diet that they totally deserve. And not only is the government ready, willing, and able to tell your children what they should eat? But they're willing to tell you what to eat. In fact, they want to tell you what to eat. You might recall in the news, Mayor Bloomberg in New York was even telling people there what the size of their soda cups should be, and trying to reduce sugar. And I'm all for healthy eating and trying to do those things, but I think it has to be up to the individual and not up to our government to tell you what it is that you should or shouldn't do. Um, we also have Barack Obama, President Obama, who has come out with Common Core and putting those, putting Common Core in the schools. And, Common Core is the brainchild of Bill Gates from Microsoft. And what Common Core essentially does, it tells you as a parent what your child needs to learn without asking you, hey, is this what do you agree with of what we're doing? Typically in schools, parents had some say about what their kids were being taught. It's not so much true anymore, especially among Common Core, because a lot of parents who've asked questions aren't being allowed to look at any information on Common Core. But Common Core teaches a lot of times how bad Americans are, due to our historical background. We're, horrible things that we've done, really without emphasizing any of the good things that America has done. It's all looking at the negative. It's also telling your children, how to be good to the environment, how to be good to anything else that the government believes that kids should learn, how to be good citizens, government citizens, if you will, in the United States, what you should do. And in fact, as kids get older in school, under Common Core, they're not going to be reading the classics anymore. They're going to be reading government manuals because they want to grow them in and mold them into the people that they want them to be. Not what you want them to be, but how best the government can utilize them as citizens. We're also seeing things in Common Core like, looking at, instead of looking at a math problem in a very commonsensical, well-substantiated way, we're looking at them in a very, taking the long and arduous path on how to solve a very simple problem, and also giving credit when perhaps credit is not due. When you're saying 2 + 2 = 4, now if a child says 5 instead of 4, sometimes in Common Core they're looking at it as, well, at least they tried, and so they should get it right because, trying is what we want them to do. And you have to decide whether or not you agree with that. There's also other groups, now that are stepping up to help you, not only in the hearts and minds of your children and how to teach them, but now they're coming after the souls of your children by teaching them what they should learn and what they should know and what they should accept in their spirituality. For example, we have a group called the Telos Group, who's ready to pour their efforts into changing evangelical Christian children's views on Israel. Now, it sounds good, right? Well, not if you're a Christian, because you know that under biblical principles, Christians must, back up Israel and be a friend to Israel. And there are dire consequences if that doesn't happen. Looking at the Telos Group's mission statement, we see that it says, Telos strengthens the capacity of American faith communities, and especially American evangelicals, to help positively transform the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Our vision is security, freedom, and dignity for every human being in the Holy Land, and our belief is that a viable two-state solution supported by the United States is the best and most practical way to realize that vision. In other words, we at Telos are genuinely pro-Israeli, pro-Palestinian, pro-American, and pro-peace all the same time. Now that sounds really good. Sounds like everybody's at peace, everybody's getting along, all's great. But if we take a closer look, we notice that the president and co-founder of the Telos Group at one point advised the Palestinian leadership on peace negotiations with Israel. And it really sounds great, but what they're trying to do is called transformation, and we've seen transformation before, especially within this administration, talking about hope and change and transforming America. We've seen the transformation to the point where we almost don't recognize the America we're in. We've seen the hope and change in the organization who brought us the conflict in Benghazi, where 4 Americans, including Ambassador Stevens, was they were brutally killed in Benghazi, and the Obama administration indicated, well, that was based on a video. And we now know that's totally untrue, that basically Ambassador Stevens had asked for additional security because things were getting so bad, and Hillary Clinton would not give that increased security to him. We also have under this administration Obamacare, with this great website that doesn't work, and having more people uninsured that are in fact enrolled in Obamacare. And we also have high unemployment numbers out of this administration. So transformation, in the climate of today, isn't necessarily a good thing. Now, if you like transformation and you like the transformation that are talked about under the Tellus Group, I think what you need to know is if you're a fan of George Soros, you're going to like it. Now, why do I say that? George Soros, as we know, is an atheist billionaire from Hungary who basically is, he likes to take down countries. He especially doesn't like the United States and would like nothing more than to see the United States fail. What is not mentioned by the Tellus Group is approximately 1/2 of their funding is provided to them by George Soros. Makes a little bit difference about what transformation we're talking about when you know the key players that are connected to the Tellus Group. A McKay Coppins of BuzzFeed reports that the Tellus Group is campaigning a quiet effort to push evangelical Christians away from their loyalty towards Israel and toward increasing solidarity with the Palestinians. And again, if you're a Christian, you know the dire consequences of such actions. Alexander Joffe, Joffe, who is a PhD and author, wrote a book where he exposed organizations funded by George Soros seeking to change American Christians' viewpoints on Israel. And he listed the Tellus Group as one of those organizations. Again, not something that, if you're a Christian, that is a good transformation. What can we do? Well, parents, I know that you're busy, but organizations that help you, parent, if they're from the government or groups like the Tellus Group, is not something that's going to benefit you in the long run. Organizations that are fighting for you need your help. They can only do so much without your help as well. Perhaps maybe 1 or 2 less soccer practices a week, 1 or 2 less soccer games a month might help you get more time to go out there and help fight what is happening. The progressive left is coming for the hearts, minds, and the souls of your children. Please step up, get out there, and help before it's too late. I hope that you will subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I hope to see you reading my articles at SusanKnowles.com and on Spreecast, and I hope to see you real soon and talk to you about more newsworthy and political items of the day. Have a great day.